G'day everybody, how you going today? It is so good to see you. I do hope you are super well. I'm out on a pretty cold Melbourne winter's night here at Albert Park Lake. You can see it shimmering behind me. Also shimmering is the city of Melbourne, which is framed by the beautiful palm trees that circle the lake. I'm here for a very specific reason. At sunset, I was using some new firmware. Yes, by the title, we have this major firmware update. It's 2.00 for the Z6III. It's very exciting. It is a major update, and it's got a number of features in it that's going to excite a lot of different use cases. And here it is, the Z6III, and as you'll be interested to know, it's working fantastically with the brand new Megadap adapter, the 21 Pro Plus. It has even more compatibility, including you can now use the A to E mount adapter with this adapter, the E to Z adapter, onto the Z mount, meaning that you can use old Sony A mount lenses. Not only that, but they've made it stronger, better built, and actually weather sealed. How cool is that for an adapter that's 2 or 3 mils thick? I'm about 2.5 meters, 7 or 8 feet from the camera and the light. We're on the brand new 24 to 72.8S version 2 on the Z8, shooting 4K. We're at 8000 ISO, and we have the new Sirui C60X light sitting on top of the camera, and it is at 1%. I just wanted a little bit of fill so we could have me and have the city in the background. Now let's keep in mind, this camera is only a year old, so it hasn't been that long in the market. Nikon's been rolling out bird detection across the XP7 range over the last couple of years, and yes, it's here. Bird Detect is in this new firmware, so people are going to be super excited. Now the reason I'm down at the lake is because I was testing it on the wide range of bird life that's here. And look, I'm not a birder, but what I could see is it's ridiculously snappy. It's very, very fast at seeing the birds and getting them in focus. It may well be the fastest implementation of it that I've seen yet. I don't really test it that often. Check out videos like Jan Wagner. I'm sure he will install this as soon as he can and test it for birding. Let's see what he has to say, but my impression of it is it's very snappy, very accurate. It sees birds very quickly, and it sees them, for example, up in one of these palm trees here, a cockatoo sort of hidden, still found it. Bird detection, number one. Number two, we have the new version of Pixel Shift, which adds also your ability to change your exposure. So that has been added into here. So the more complex version of Pixel Shift, which is super duper exciting for people like me. This is why this camera is absolutely considered a professional level camera by Nikon, and we are seeing auto capture arrive here. Fantastic to see. Another really exciting one that just came in the Z8 major firmware update 3.0, which was just a month or two ago, and that is the arrival of a software focus limiter. If you haven't seen that video, I'll explain it quickly. What it allows you to do in software on any lens, definitely first-party Nikon lenses, and on some, and I haven't tested them all, I don't have them all, on some third-party lenses, it allows you to set the maximum and minimum focus, and the lens will just literally keep within those two. So you might want to shoot from 3 meters to 10 meters or 10 meters to 50 meters and so on. It's set with firmware, and you can toggle it on and off by assigning it to any button whatsoever. So that is a really exciting professional level feature to be added with Firmware 2.0. Probably one of the headline ones for me though is image authentication. This is a really important part of the future of photography from my perspective. Being able to authenticate images and say, yes, what really happened here, and we can see the provenance of an image. What hands has it passed through in the sense of what digital processes has it been through or not till it arrives at a newspaper or an online publication. This is critical for the world that we live in with this AI, this ever expanding, ever increasing, ever faster AI world where we're getting more and more images that are getting harder and harder to tell. Even so, you still can tell. Image authentication is critical. This is now the first camera to have it, And to the best of my understanding, it's not rolling out to all regions around the world immediately. And hopefully by the time that I edit this, I might have some sense of that, and I will put it here on the screen. Otherwise, check availability in your region. Can you have a Z6III and authentication working? I hope it works in your region. I hope it works in my region. So that's a huge one, and this is a first for Nikon in no uncertain terms. And yeah, we're seeing other camera manufacturers doing this. It's a really important step in the photography industry. It's critical, and all professional level cameras should have image authentication. And another major update is a further refinement of how you interact and connect with Imaging Cloud. The Z6III is the first to have that advancement across the XP 7 cameras that have it. I think the ones that have it so far are, off the top of my head, ZF, Z52, Z52, Z6III of course, and hopefully we get to see at least one more major update for the Z9, and that will include all of the things that have been added to these cameras over the last couple of years in one major update. Things like pixel shift, which I do agree should be there, along with image authentication for the flagship camera, and so on. You know the ones you're looking for, but as a reminder to us all, why don't you write in the comments below what feature that is rolled out amongst the other cameras, the Z52, the Z52, the ZF, the Z6III and the Z8, what features do they have that the Z9 doesn't have? This is not the Z9, I'm just pointing in this direction, that you would like to see added to the Z9. Please write that in the comments below.
And there's so much more to Firmware 2.00 for the Z6III. Here I will show you 3 pages of further updates, and this is still not everything. And if you want to read them in detail, you can pause. Also, please do keep in mind that I will have a link below taking you to the download page for Firmware 2.00. This is an amazing update. It has some firsts in it for Nikon, and I do need to highlight the fact that Nikon promised bird detect by the end of this year, and they are exceeding that goal by 4 whole months. That is September, October, November, and December. Delivering once again and hitting it out of the park with an absolutely major firmware update for the Z6III.
So here we are. Nikon continues to bring value to their cameras. Z6III, as I said, it's only been out around about a year, and it's getting its first major update. And depending on what you do, these are real, genuine, useful updates. Focus limiter, absolutely, for all sorts of photography, if not every type of photography. Bird subject detection, for those that are interested in birding, and from my testing that I did here this afternoon after the sunset, probably about half an hour after the sunset, as a non-birder, it seems to be extraordinarily sticky, an absolutely amazing result. And things like auto capture, working great for wildlife and sports and other use cases, along with image authentication. These are all really high level, professional level features that are absolutely value adding to your photography experience. This is good stuff. And we've just seen Nikon, go really hard since the arrival of the Z series of cameras, and even harder with the arrival of the XP 7 Z series cameras. From the Z9 onwards, Z9 something like up to firmware 5.2, the Z8 up to 3.01, the ZF is up to 2.0 if I recall correctly. This is now the Z6III 2.0, and well, the Z52, it's too new. It doesn't deserve to have any new firmware yet, being only a couple of months old, along with the Z52, which is a very feature-packed camera. These updates are amazing. They're bringing a lot to all of us users, and I think there's no question in my mind that today Nikon is providing the most via firmware. I'd love to know, what are you most excited about in the arrival of firmware 2.00 for the Z6III? Let us know. Is it bird detect, auto capture, image authentication? Which one? These are all really cool things, and of course there's more. The camera seems to be working better than ever. This is progress. Things keep moving forwards, and let's keep in mind this is costing us zero. Once we've bought this camera, you are getting these updated features at zero extra cost to you. Now that's a pretty big deal, because there's some people that complain about always guys like us pushing new things on you to buy new things. It's not true. We show them to you. You can just decide whether to buy it or not. You can decide whether the use case for any new bit of kit is right for you. I'm still talking about it, and well, it's free. From my perspective, that's really great, and the level of support has been amazing, because my expectation when buying a product, I buy the product with the features that it has on the day that I buy it, and I have no expectation that anything further will happen. Now, in regards to the Z9, I know that people would be very excited about having at least one more firmware update. Will we get a 6.0 before the Z9 II comes along? I don't think we're going to see the Z9 II this year. I don't think so. It could be another year, or who knows how long it might be. Maybe even longer than that. Maybe into 2027, which sounds crazy. It sounds like a crazy number, but it's actually 2027 is only something like, 16 months away or something like that, the start of 2027. Who knows? So I do think there's space for us to have one more major firmware update, bringing all of these little bits and pieces that have been added to cameras over time. I'd be really surprised if we don't see it, especially if we've still got another, let's say, 16 to 18 months before the Z9 II arrives. We will see. I have no crystal ball. I have no inside knowledge. I just think at this point, with all the additions that have gone across all the other cameras, it's Z9 time. Z9 time. I'll do a video entitled the Z9 time. It's time. Please do let me know what you think about firmware 2.00 for the Z6III in the comments below. It has, as always, been so good to see you. And if this is your first time here, I would love to see you again. So please do subscribe, please share, and please like. And, well, enjoy these lovely surrounds of Albert Park Lake here at night. Beautiful city of Melbourne in the background. I'll see you soon.